we were just talking about when's the last time we did this.
And we were literally in this exact same spot.
It feels so good to be back.
I know.
In your husband's parents' house.
Yeah, right. So
like,
good to be back.
Cadence, please quit stroking the walls.
Yeah, this is our new podcast office, so...
Just lots in life, guys.
A lot.
Just so much going on. But thank you for being patient. We're getting caught up. We're dedicating a full day today to just figuring our shit out.
Yeah, thank you so much for being supportive. We are both alive.
Yeah, barely.
Barely kicking, but we are okay.
Yes.
So, and we appreciate the support and the understanding. Sometimes the Kardashians need a week off, so
we're just too famous and just need a break.
Right. So with that being said, today feels so good. Like, just so good.
Yes.
Recording.
I was wondering, I don't know why I thought you were going a different direction with that. And I was like, what's she going to say?
No, I was just going to say, like, today feels so good. Like, it feels like a good...
It's been forever.
A good day.
Because even though we took a week off, we had recorded that one the week before, so it's really been double the time.
Yeah, like 2 weeks.
So...
yeah.
We're back in it. Back into some murder.
Yes.
Got some great stories coming up.
Oh my God.
Changes to Patreon and merch and everything.
Yeah.
We just don't have the details hammered out yet. So.
Yeah, and we will need your interaction and your feedback.
Yeah.
So please.
So be better. Be better about that. Okay, guys? Come on.
Build back better.
I have this one hair that is like sticking out like a broken bang. So, anyways. Oh, and my hair has changed.
Yeah, she kind of copied me. She wanted to be me.
Alexa Jr.
Mm-hmm.
You can call me Siri. Yeah, I'm just back to my roots, guys. They say that when a woman changes her hair, she's about to change her life. And wow, is that an understatement. So, here we are.
Talking about life, though, I mean, one good thing is she's going to be closer to me.
Yeah.
So we will honestly probably be recording a lot together. So be ready for this.
Yeah,
Like, this
more
is going
collabs.
to be like the new norm. Which
collabs.
is collabs. But this is going to be like the new norm. Us recording together more.
No more distance. There won't be this wall between us.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like a hot mess right now. I sat down and I was clearly not ready. So, yep, I'm back in the Branson area.
Yeah.
Fancy Brancy, as
Right.
we call it. Living in Golden Girls Mansion.
She is.
So,
she is.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm ready to do more like videos and exclusive content.
Yeah. And then those of you that are like local, if you hear of any like events or anything that you think we should be part of, please let us know.
Any murders we need to investigate.
Yeah.
Any crime scenes that need examined.
Which, I mean, today we're kind of talking about something local. So it's going to be really interesting.
I'm excited.
I called this episode Too Close for Comfort because it really is.
I'm pumped. I don't think I know anything about this. So,
yeah.
Let's get into it. What are we drinking? Because I don't know. Wine out of a
glass.
Out of a pint glass.
Yeah. So. We are drinking 19 Crimes, The Warden. So you can see it's like super dark. Literally like black. It looks black in this
Just like my soul.
Yeah, right. Cheers.
So, drinking word for today.
Yeah, so it's about, I mean, he's a pedophile, and a rapist,
So what if we did like child, or children, or kid?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, or boy, girl.
Yeah.
Guys, gals, non-binary pals.
Wow. That was
I heard a new term today. Someone was like reading a fan letter on another podcast I listened to, and they addressed it to ladies, theydies, and gents. Theydies.
Theydies?
Theydies. Ladies and theydies.
Ladies and theydies.
It has a ring to it.
Hey, it does. I mean, if that works, whatever. All right, so anything else before we get started? Let's go?
Let's go.
All right.
I'm ready.
So our videos and podcasts are for entertainment purposes. All information discussed was found on the internet or personal experience. Keep in mind, we will talk...
Did you get murdered?
No, but this is personal. Keep in mind, we will talk all things sinister that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. And this entire story is very triggering. It's very sad. Obviously, it's about children and a pedophile. So I already said children. All right, you ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, so we are talking about a man named Edward Martinez, a.k.a. Eddie, born February 5th, 1971 in California, so still Aquarius season. It's so weird how this worked out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Surprise!
Oh, wow, it like fits in perfectly.
Isn't it weird? Okay,
Yeah.
So his birthday was yesterday. Born 1971, he's a serial rapist and pedophile. And was just arrested in August 2021. He has apparently been molesting children since 1984.
Oh my god.
Children.
Wait, so how old is he currently?
71, 50?
Yeah.
So, 51. So he started raping children, it stated back to 1984 when he was 13 years old. So when he was a child himself.
Whew.
Typically chooses young girls.
Oh god. I love dark red wine at 2 p.m.
Hey, it was like the first one that I could find in my wine cooler. And he is an Aquarius. So, you know, we've talked about the Aquarius sign previously. And again, just for those of you that want to know, you know, obviously the background, they're typically charming, outgoing, and friendly. Some people find them very entertaining and funny. Their weaknesses, I'm just going to go straight to the negative. Neglectful of their loved ones or people that they care about. Selfish. They can just cut people out of their lives easily. They're not open to receiving help, and they're very secretive. With Eddie, I want to focus on secretive. He's one person to your face and another person behind closed doors, and can cut people out cold with zero emotion.
Honestly, I would say so far, because I'm learning a lot of these zodiac signs. Some of these I just don't know people that are like identify with those zodiac signs.
I know.
I am trying to get us canceled today with my terminology. You get what I'm saying. Label it as an Aquarius, and so far I think Aquarius, like the serial killers, have freaked me out the most in Aquarius season.
I agree.
Like they're pretty bad.
They're pretty bad, and it's like
because you would expect like Scorpios to be like aggressive, fiery people, or like an Aries to be a fiery, aggressive person, but like it's the ones like Aquarius that you don't expect it from, and they're like the creepiest.
Yeah.
So
I know, it's crazy.
Anyways,
so why are we talking about this story? I know Eddie. I do. I know Eddie Martinez. I've known him since I was about 13 years old, and it's a really wild story. Again, why I wanted to call this episode Too Close for Comfort. Because it's very too close for comfort. So, I know his family very well. I've known him, you know, again, like since I was 13 years old. There's going to be some names in the story that I change, you know, just to protect those that we are still close with. You know, that we love and that we respect. But, yeah, it's wild. Did Eddie ever do anything to me or my family, like my siblings? No, because he would be dead. He seriously would. But, yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild.
It's gonna give me the creeps.
I know. So let's dive right in. So my mom's best friend, I'm going to call her, one of my mom's best friends, going to call her Donna. She was dating a very nice man named Matt. Just giving you the backstory. His name really isn't Matt, but that's the name that I'm giving you all today, Donna and Matt. And Matt's brother is Eddie. So when we moved to Republic, I was 12 years old. Republic, Missouri, and my mom had met Donna, shortly after we moved, and they just hit it off. Like, they became best friends. I also went to school with Donna's daughters, so, like, knew them.
So this is Donna's brother-in-law.
Correct.
Who's Eddie. Okay, got it. So he's around the kids.
Yep. Yeah. So Matt is a paraplegic, and so his brother, Eddie, moved from California to Missouri to come and, like, help take care of him because Matt had an accident. And Eddie was living with Donna and Matt, and obviously, the girls. So this is how I met Eddie. And, my mom, she would go over to the house. We would go over there all the time for barbecues and stuff like that. This is how I met him.
I feel like that's, it's not the worst, obviously, thing to hear, but it's scary when you hear things like, he lived right next door, he watched our kids, and just thinking back to, like, what could have been.
We were in the same house. Yeah. Wild,
Gross.
Right?
Gross.
He was always, so going back to kind of like the Aquarius, he was always nice and funny, and, he would be involved in, like, game nights and barbecues and, like, tell jokes and stuff like that. We really didn't see any harm in him.
Yeah.
I will say he was also very reclusive. There would be times that we would be over at Donna and Matt's house, and he would just, like, stay in his room. So, like, they would have a huge barbecue, and everybody is outside, like, having fun, doing all these things, and he's, like, locked in his room, which we thought was kind of weird looking back at now. Like, he was probably looking at kiddie porn or something, which is fucking sick.
Gross.
But, to my point, like, nobody ever suspected anything to this nature.
Scary.
Very, very scary. Perfect example of an Aquarius. They're one way to your face and another way behind closed doors. Fucking weird. So needless to say, I've been around this piece of shit since I was 13, 14 years old. Last time I saw him was probably, 3 or 4 years ago, thankfully, but my parents just saw him the month before he got arrested.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So he just lived this normal fucking life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. When Eddie was 13 years old, he apparently molested somebody, another child. Back in California, we don't really know the story, right? We don't know the specifics. But Eddie also said that he was molested as a child as well.
Okay.
So...
do unto others what has been done to you or something.
Yeah, but you would think, like, sexual trauma in a child is severe, and I'll drink to that in a second. I know people personally who have been molested as a child. Yeah. And they would never allow that to another child.
At the end of the day, like, I know you're a result of your trauma, but you still have a choice. Like, right. As long as you're of sane mind, of course. Like,
right and wrong.
You know right and wrong, and like, you got to take care of yourself, you've got to heal yourself, and so there's just no excuse.
No excuse. So, in 1997, Eddie caught the eye of prosecutors in 2 different states, but apparently they couldn't bring any charges forward. It was more of, like, word of mouth situation versus evidence. So, like, somebody said, hey, Eddie molested my daughter, but there was no proof. It was just their word against Eddie's word, so no charges were ever actually filed.
Oh my God. It kind of goes back to what you first said. Like, if anything would have happened to you, he'd just be dead. Yeah. I think probably most parents feel that way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can you imagine being told, like, well, there's not enough evidence? And it's like, but...
Okay, well, I guess he's gonna die. Yeah. Any famous last words? In Missouri, we're gonna fast forward to whenever he came to Missouri. His MO, right? He typically will choose single moms that have children, and particularly girls, that need help.
Vulnerable.
Very vulnerable. They fall in love with his charm, or maybe it's not a romantic connection. Maybe they just become really good friends with Eddie, and they allow him to move into their home, or allow him to move into their home. Yeah. So, he would help them financially. He would charm them. Again, some of them they were in relationships with, others they weren't. And then he would start molesting the children.
What did he do for a living?
Kind of bounced around different jobs. So, like some IT work and, other things here and there.
Okay. Man, move in.
Not only would he molest the children, but he would also molest the children's friends. So if the friends would come over, he would molest them as well.
And what's so... Man, that's an even stickier situation because then...
Yeah.
I'm sure the parents of the friends didn't trust now the friends' parents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, well, they let that predator come into your house, but like they also didn't know.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I know.
That's tough.
Yep. Sometimes these mothers would suspect something, or the children would say things, not particularly that he raped them, but kind of insinuate that he was. Sorry, this wine is getting to me.
I can hear these like popping noises in your throat.
I'm like, oh God.
It wasn't funny. I mean, your story wasn't funny.
I know, I'm like trying to hold it back. I'm like, okay, but I have to burp. Sometimes.
Okay. I don't know why that tickled me so bad.
Guys, we need laughter.
We need laughter so bad, but also I
saw
the struggle.
You saw me struggling over here.
That's funny. I'm getting red. I'm laughing so hard. Okay.
Yeah, get it together.
Back to the rape.
Anyway, sometimes the women would even like go to the authorities and say like, "Hey, I'm suspecting something, but I don't really know what's going on." But again, no charges were ever brought through, against him.
Here's my thing about like kids that claim to be molested. Listen, I know there's a small percentage of people that make these claims to get other people in trouble. I just really think that when it comes to kids don't know what sex is to begin with. Not really.
Right.
So, like, I just think that when it comes to kids, like, the kid needs to come first.
They need to be validated.
And it needs to be guilty until proven innocent when it comes to kids because, like, where does that come from otherwise?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think that that's something that kids conjure up on their own.
Right.
And...
yeah.
So that's sad that it wasn't handled that way.
It's very sad. It's very sad. You also said kids 17 times.
I know.
The police did have Eddie on their radar though since 1997. Okay, so they knew that he was a potential predator, but they didn't know the specifics. They didn't have the evidence. And I call fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. If there are any Greene County, authorities listening to this podcast, shame on you.
Then fuck you.
Seriously, shame on you if you knew of any of this, because you could have easily stopped this years ago, instead of in 2021.
Yeah, that's...
easily stopped this years ago. Here's my thing when it comes to the justice system, and I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole today, but I could easily do it. I'm sorry, but somebody with a fucking dime bag of weed can easily get arrested and go to jail much easier than a fucking pedophile.
Yeah, that's
point blank proven, done. It's bullshit.
I agree. The horror stories you hear, especially when it comes to things like sexual assault.
Yeah.
I was even thinking about this, and again, we won't go down this rabbit hole today, but just a side thought. I was listening to a podcast where someone was brutally raped, and the legal term for that is sexual misconduct.
Oh, fuck.
And that bothered me so much.
Yeah.
misconduct, in my opinion. Like, if you're at work and you are...
That's, like, wrongdoing.
I'm like, okay, so you yelled, like, the F word in front of customers or something. Like, that's misconduct. Rape is not sexual misconduct. Rape is rape.
Rape is rape.
You know, so, or, I don't know. I would even take the term sexual assault over sexual misconduct. I hate that term.
I do too.
And I feel like
it's that word.
Anyways.
Yeah.
That being said, in relation to like how the justice system works, like there's so many things that are just so wrong.
It's so wrong.
But
so some of the victims have been holding on to this terrible abuse and their stories for literally decades with zero justice. One victim says, quoted, "I was around 12 years old when I finally told my parents. I'm 23 now."
Oh,
that gives me chills. Like, literally gives me chills. And
she was 12 when she came out and said it, so it was happening before
years
she was
before.
12. Yeah.
Then she says, "It definitely brought up all of those old feelings and memories that I had pressed down deep in a dark corner. It brought them all back up. I thought I had dealt with it." Clearly, you know, it resurfaces everything.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. And this victim was a child of one of Eddie's close friends. Like, unreal.
I know this is like a simplification, but like, how do you actually sleep at night?
Right. Seriously.
I mean, if I give someone attitude, I lose sleep.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, I was
like,
a bitch to that cashier today. Like, I did not mean to like not
you're
say
molesting
thank you.
kids and just getting a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Like, what is your point on this earth?
Mm-hmm. Might have to get a refill.
I know, Jesus. I didn't think it was gonna go. I was like, this thing fits half a bottle.
Yeah. This person's mother says that she was devastated when she found out. She said, quoted, "I wanted to hunt him down and kill him, honestly. That's just your maternal instinct kicking in. Then guilt, because I've let this monster into my family. His demeanor is very friendly, outgoing, very charming. You would never expect this."
Gross.
Going back to an Aquarius, and then again, going back to like our personal relationship with this monster. You know, it's like people always say, if you suspect a child molester, you're gonna know. Well, personal experiences, like, we didn't know.
Well, and I think that viewpoint also puts blame on other people and not the child molester. Like, very few people who are like serial killers or serial rapists, like, appear to be those people. That's why they get away with murder and rape.
So long.
Yeah.
So Eddie's first wife, Michelle, says she didn't know about the accusations of sexual abuse. She was asked by investigators, "Do you believe he is an abuser?" And she said, "I believe he is, but I also believe he was abused. I know that he was struggling with things, but as far as officially knowing and being able to stop it, no. But I know that he had some issues." So again, you know, he is trying to say that he was abused as a child.
And
you
so
know,
it's justifying what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, he very well likely could have been abused. But you know what? At the end of the day, you know right from wrong. And you know what was done to you is fucking wrong. If that did happen, you should never do that to another child. Ever.
Jeez. And it seems like other people are making excuses for him.
Yeah.
Which is...
his first wife.
Always the first wife.
Always the first wife. August 19th, 2021, Republic Police Department began investigating Eddie after an incident took place at a house where Eddie had lived. This woman, the article refers to her as MD, which I know who this woman is. Her son, who was under the age of 12, and her granddaughters, 9 and 4 years old, lived with her. MD took custody of the granddaughters in 2020 from, you know, her child or whatever. MD lived in Waynesville when she took custody of the girls. Eddie was a friend of hers. MD confided in Eddie about the situation with the girls. You know, obviously it was very stressful, and she was going to have to take in 2 more children. She had a 12-year-old boy of her own.
Man.
So So Eddie offered his help to her. He said, I will help you with the girls, and I will help you with the house, and I will help you with all of this.
But fuck that little boy. Get him out of here.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
But literally, fuck. Okay. No, bad
Okay.
joke. Bad joke.
Bad
joke. Okay.
Bad.
Sorry. It's the wine. The wine at 2 in the afternoon.
He would participate in family events and would stay the night. You know, before he was kind of living there, kind of not, but he would stay the night. You know, with them, and he would also take the girls to places like to restaurants and stuff like that. MD trusted him and had known him for years.
I would still find that weird.
Well, I would too. I definitely would too.
I'm not victim blaming.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I'm just not a trusting person in general.
Right.
So I wouldn't be like, hey, my friend should just go take my kids places.
Right.
I don't know.
Plus, at this time, there was even more trust because Eddie was dating a woman that was a fucking social worker. Can't make this up. And I'll show you pictures later.
Oh, shit. Well, okay. Well, then going back to what I just said, I take that back. If you know a guy that is your friend and you trust, and on top of that, he's dating someone who obviously
is a social worker.
As a social worker, he's going to be in on at least like those private, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like if you are dating someone who's like a teacher, like you know like what happens, like you know what happens in like the school system.
Yeah.
Like so, or a cop. Yeah, you know like how things work, and you're probably a trustworthy person. And
yep.
Oh,
wild,
okay.
Huh?
Okay, not good.
So, MD says her son went to her one day and told her this story. He also told this to the investigators. Investigators said that one night the little boy was on the top bunk, and the 9-year-old girl was on the bottom bunk. Eddie was in there laying with the little girl watching a movie with all of them. And the boy saw and heard Eddie sexually assaulting the little girl. So the little boy said that Eddie then went into MD's room, probably to perform sexual acts on her too, the grandmother. Mm-hmm. And the girl eventually, told her grandmother this had happened. And she also said that Eddie had been doing this to her younger sister who was 4 years old.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
Yep. During the investigation, the boy also said that Eddie would buy gifts for the girls, but would never buy gifts for him. He also said that Eddie asked the girls to invite their friends over, and he abused the girls' friends.
So, when all of this is happening, like...
Grandma's not home. She's at work.
Oh, he's babysitting.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Or she is there in the other room.
I would hope that she's at work. Because, like, if
you're
in the other room and
there
Eddie is in the room with the girls, I'd be like, Eddie, leave them alone.
Yeah, like, where... I mean...
Like, get in here and hang out with me.
Yeah.
Like, twiddle me.
Yeah. Yeah. The oldest girl told the investigators, obviously, that he molested her, her younger sister, and 2 of her friends.
Man, I'm sure the story goes on. I'll let you tell the story and then I'll ask questions about what happens.
Okay. Do you need a refill?
Probably.
Do we need to take a quick break?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're back.
And we are back. On August 26th, 2021, Eddie was arrested and booked into the Greene County Jail for 2 counts of statutory sodomy. He actually turned himself in to the Republic Police Department. Yeah.
Just guilty conscience?
He knew that he wasn't guilty, but wanted to get it over with and be like, here, I'll turn myself in. And he made a comment to the police about getting out of jail in 24 hours and that he would be able to post bond. Did not happen. Because that motherfucker's still in jail.
He went to the police station and said, listen, I didn't do this, but I know you guys are looking at me for the rape of these children, so I'm going to turn myself in, even though I'm not guilty.
Yep.
And I'm going to post bail so I can just get this out of the way.
Yep.
So he clearly doesn't understand how the law works.
Clearly not.
Okay.
Past victims have come forward since he's been arrested. 26 and counting since August. 26.
Oh my God. And all of them
26
kids?
and counting. I mean, they're adults now, but
former kids?
well, some of them are still, yeah.
That's so sad. But
Yep.
good for them.
Mm-hmm. Just this month, which was January, so sorry, not February, but last month, 22 additional charges involving sex abuse, child pornography, statutory sodomy, molestation have been charged and filed against Eddie on the victim's behalf of who came forward.
Oh, shit.
Detective James Stevenson of Republic Police Department says he has been taking statements from victims and assisting with filing charges. He says, quoted, "I get to play a part in letting them share their story one more time, hopefully in a safe environment. That was the idea. Every single one of them was just so grateful. I'm grateful to them as well to be able to share so that we have a chance to put somebody away so they can't continue to do this." Literally gives me chills.
Yeah. Holy shit. And
yeah.
So from what you remember of this guy, did no creepy vibes?
I mean, I was telling my mom this. Yeah, he was kind of weird, but again, I was young. I was a teenager, and obviously seeing him as an adult, didn't really interact with him, more so his brother and all that. When we did see him, he would be the funny guy. Yeah. So he would make jokes and everything was funny and lighthearted, and so at that point in time, no. I never thought anything weird. The only thing, again, that I did think was weird is he would be in his room all the time when there would be a shit ton of people there and kind of be reclusive.
Yeah,
that's kind of strange. Why are you there when everyone's out? You know what I mean? And so,
I think there's also a thing with guys in his generation and even before, because he's still kind of our dad's age.
Right.
But going back to people born in 40s, 50s, 60s, when you get to a certain age, it's almost like men sometimes think it's okay to make comments about younger girls.
Yeah.
Or hey there, pretty lady. And so it's it's hard for kids, I think, when you're around that generation to know what the line is.
Right.
You can see it as an adult and be okay, maybe don't comment on her looks. She's 3 years old kind of thing.
Well, and I honestly think I was too young for him. I'm 13, 14, 15, 16. You know what I mean? Around him a lot whenever I'm a teenager. Clearly he liked little fucking girls, which is disgusting. So, I mean, thankfully I was too old for him.
Oh, for sure.
And my sister.
Yeah.
And stuff. And you said kids 17 times.
And kids are creeped out by the Easter Bunny. So they can't decipher what that creep is as opposed to what an old man creep is. Mm-hmm. But he was around adults that trusted him, and I'm sure so kids naturally trusted him.
They did. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
In 2014, I know I'm going back a little bit, but it's important and significant to this. I have a hair sticking out of the middle of my neck. In 2014, a change in state law, in Missouri state law, made it possible for prosecutors to be able to move forward with cases against Eddie. So in the state of Missouri, in children's sexual abuse cases, claims can be filed within 10 years or 30 years now from the victim's 18th birthday or 3 years from the time the abuse had occurred in the severity of case. So what that means is now people can press charges and come forward 30 years from their 18th birthday. So they can be up to 48 years old.
Wow.
Pressing charges against him from something that he did whenever they were children.
Yeah, and that's That's great. One thing that I hate hearing is, well, why did they wait? Like, why didn't they just say it? And I'm like,
Are you kidding me?
If you have been sexually assaulted or raped,
then you know.
Or you know someone that has been sexually assaulted or raped, you know that is the hardest thing in the world to talk about.
And to even come to terms with.
And especially when you consider things like gender, someone's social status, someone's like, imagine being like an 18-year-old girl who's promiscuous and doesn't have a good reputation, and then you're going up against a man who's 40 who has a job and a wife and kids.
Yep.
Like, it's just natural to society to believe like, well, she's the young slut.
Right.
So, like, things like, and that's just an example, but, like, like it makes it hard for these people to come out. So, giving them some time to heal, come to terms, maybe
be an adult now.
They've blacked out memories.
Yeah.
So, I think that's great.
I know. Eddie is currently in the Greene County Jail. He will face a judge at the end of this month, so the end of February, for a preliminary hearing. And he is being held without a bond. So
he can't pay it in 24 hours and then get out?
No, can't pay it in 24 hours and get out.
Oh my God.
Wild,
good.
Right?
Great.
Yeah. So
holy shit.
That is the story.
Wow. That's amazing. What's his name again? Eddie what?
Eddie Martinez.
Was he, I know this doesn't matter. Was he like an attractive guy? Like a Ted Bundy situation?
Not like, I mean, I would say he's not ugly. He's a little bit of a bigger guy, like teddy bear type guy. Kind of like an Egg Kemper, but Mexican.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
Just curious what the vibe was that he gave off, especially since he spent so much time around kids.
Yeah.
I was going to say he had to be some sort of like teddy bear guy for kids to trust him.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, he was charming. Back to the Aquarius, traits. He was charming. So
yeah.
Wild story, huh?
Damn.
I do want to say, if you or anybody is a victim of sexual assault from Eddie, or literally from anybody else in the state of Missouri or elsewhere, it's okay, to talk about it, to get help, to find somebody to help you get justification, and to contact, the authorities or National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-5673. It's important for you to get justification and for you to get help.
Yeah, and save others in the process.
Save others, absolutely.
Even if you're not ready to tell your story, you could save someone else.
Yep.
And there's power in numbers, too, kind of going back to, like, why people don't come out. There's power when you hear, okay, one person came out, 5 people come out, 10, okay, like, it's time.
Now 26.
26.
And counting.
Damn!
I know.
Wow. Well, great story. Holy cow. Mm-hmm. How does it feel to, like, know someone like that?
It's fucking wild. It's shocking. Like, I remember the exact moment Tony and I were sitting in the living room, and she knows, I never watch the news. Ever watch the news. And something told me, turn on KY3. And I fucking turned the TV on. The first thing that I see, Edward Martinez arrested for sexual assault against statutory sodomy against 2 minors. Damn. And I paused the TV and I called my mom and I'm like, Mom, holy shit.
What did she say?
She was shocked.
Yeah.
She was like, what? Wait, what? And then Tony's like, wait, like Eddie? Like that Eddie? I'm like, yes.
It's like crazy.
Wild. We were shocked. I mean, whole family, we were on like a group chat, like talking about it. We were just absolutely shocked and sickened. And, my mom's like, of course there's like guilt. We're like, man, if we would have known or noticed or anything, we could have saved like so many children if we would have known, but we didn't. And again, like, was he there? Yeah, but he wasn't really present a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, and if their parents couldn't even tell, like...
No. Yeah. Wild, man. Wild.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
You have to keep us updated if things happen or like he gets in jail or something.
Well, funny story. So whenever I saw the picture on KY3, the picture was of him in a suicide vest. Yeah, and so
no way.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't even know they would like post pictures like that.
Yeah, so it was a picture of him, and he was in a suicide vest. And my mom and I were talking about that. And we were like, that fucking pussy. Yeah. Like, he deserves everything plus what's coming to him. And let me tell you what, they don't like no fucking chomos in prison. So, child molester.
I've never heard that.
You've never heard that?
Chomo?
Yep, chomo. They don't fucking like them. So good fucking luck, Eddie. Hope you get it plus 10 times worse.
Yeah, for sure.
So he was already in a fucking suicide vest. You fucking pussy. Sorry.
No,
anyway.
I
have a potty mouth, as you guys already know. You already know.
Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome. My name is Alexa, and I have a potty mouth.
No, he deserves it. He deserves
does.
all the bad words and sodomy in jail.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he does.
Wow. Well, great story.
Yeah, thanks.
Sick.
Yeah. So, patrons. Want to thank our patrons. Justin, Annette, Adrian, Nicholas, Valerie, Haley, and Angie. You all are the real MVPs.
Does that include our new ones?
Oh, and Crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Crystal. Thank you so much.
I think we had one more.
Hold
on. I think so. Time out.
I didn't see it.
Stalling. Oh no, yeah, you're right. It was Crystal.
Yeah. And Crystal, thank you for supporting the podcast and for keeping us going. If it weren't for you all, we still would not be live. So, seriously, thank you.
We wouldn't be able to feed our dogs.
Feed our wine addiction.
Yes. So thank you. Everything's changing when it comes to Patreon. Like, almost literally everything.
Yeah, so for those of you already subscribed, you're going to see like a minor difference, but
a better one.
It's going to be so much better. Just stay tuned to the emails. You'll love it. And we really need and want your interaction. Mm-hmm. Please keep sharing the podcast to all of your friends and family. Like, subscribe on YouTube, download, rate, review, share, comment.
Block out 1 hour of your day every single day. No. Honestly, I know it sounds so silly when like content creators like beg for this stuff, but it's because it helps to boost interaction. Otherwise, there's no way for them to track like what's successful and what's not. Right. Views just aren't enough. So if you're there, just do quick little things here and there. It'll just help us out.
It really will.
Yeah.
Also, our sponsor.
Yes, Color Up CBD. I'm not gonna give any of the handles. Guys, my brain is not working again.
It's colorupco.com or at colorupcbd.
Yes, and
on Instagram.
They've got CBD-based skincare products, your pet products. They're based out of Colorado. They're awesome.
All natural. Can't harm you.
If you follow them on any social media, they fully explain ingredients. They give like tutorials. They do almost like class-like posts on like how CBD works and like why these products are so beneficial. So,
and we still use them to this day. Look at our skin. We are glowing. Seriously, I love it though.
I do too.
Like not even like no bullshit. Like I seriously love the skincare.
A bunch of my family bought some to give out as like Christmas gifts, and they are all. I went to my sister's house actually, and I got in her shower to use it, and she had like all of like the face wash and stuff. And I'm like, oh,
thank God.
Love seeing that. Love that for me.
So if you buy any, use our code Sinister20 to get 20% off of your order.
Yeah, all lowercase. Sinister20.
All right, y'all. Thanks.
Bye.
Stay sinister.